Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name's Wanda. I am going to give you an update of how my most recent craft show went. But I think I need to tell you the whole day, because it was a day. First of all, I had set my alarm for like 7 in the morning and didn't wind up getting out of bed till 8. Now the craft show started at 10, so we was kind of rushing. So on the way, we had to go to Walmart to get some socks because we was working for an organization called Socks and Shoes. It's for like domestic violence shelters and just getting socks for children in need for school. So we had to run to Walmart, and halfway to Walmart, I'm like, oh no, I forgot the apparatus that I hang my towels from. I said, well, we'll get it on the way back, no big deal, we're still running late, can be a little bit later. So my daughter runs into Walmart, gets the socks, and we're on our way out. Now, it's like two freeways that kind of merge into one. One's not really a freeway, it's just a faster road. And it's posted at 50 miles an hour. And the other freeway is 55. Well, I'm just trucking along, not even paying attention to anything, really. Talking to my daughter, and all of a sudden I see the Ohio State Patrol. I see him, I look down, I'm going 60, and I'm like, oh no. So as I pass him, I'm braking before I go past him, but I already know he tagged me. So as I pass him, I'm looking in my side view mirror, and I see him pulling out. No lights yet, so I'm like, maybe I cut it close. No, the only thing was he wanted to get around the SUV that was right behind me before he turned his lights on. So he turned his lights on. I pulled over, and he comes up, he goes, do you know what you did wrong? I said, yes, sir. I seen you. I looked at my speedometer. I knew I'd been nailed. I said, I know. So he goes, don't you tell your passengers put their seatbelts on? My daughter said, I have my seatbelt on. He goes, not when you passed me, you didn't. So he's seen her putting on after the fact. So he asked for, of course, license, registration, and insurance card. My daughter grabs the registration under, there's like a little drawer underneath the seat that she's sitting in. She gets the registration. And I'm looking through my wallet I was carrying that day for my driver's license. And I left it in my other purse. I had forgotten to transfer everything over. So, I said, I can't find my license. It's in my other purse. So he asked for my information, and I tell him where I live and everything. And he says, insurance card. I said, I don't have insurance. I mean, there was no sense trying to say I have insurance with this company or make an excuse. I mean, there was no sense doing that because everything's computerized. He would know I wasn't carrying insurance. So why lie and make excuses? I did what I did, and I didn't have what I needed. And before anyone gripes at me, yes, I know it's a law. You need insurance to drive, and if I'm going to drive, I have the driving privilege, I should have insurance. I know this. So I'm like, oh man, takes my daughter's information, and he goes back to his car and tells us to hold tight. This is the good part. So he comes back, and I'm like really freaking out while I'm waiting in the car because I'm thinking, okay, he's going to tow my van. I'm going to get my driver's license suspended for 6 months. I'm not going to be able to get the van out for like 10 days, so that's 10 days in the impound lot. There's the cost of getting insurance to get it out of the impound lot. There's cost of court cost. Then there's the tickets, for speeding and carrying no insurance. So, this was mounting up to be a good anywhere from $5,000 to $1,000 price for being stupid. So I'm freaking out because we are a good 10 miles from home. My daughter could easily get in a police car and be, taken home, but I had the wheelchair stowed in the back, so I would have to pray that I made it all the way home. So, me and my daughter's talking, and I'm like, oh. But he comes back around, and he hands me a yellow slip, and I'm like, oh, what's the damage? He goes, I see you have a clean driving record, which I did for 20 years. See you have a clean driving record, so I'm giving you a warning. And I'm like, oh, thank you, officer. I mean, it pays to be totally honest and not throw excuses at an officer, because that really worked out my benefit. And then the funny part of it is, he handed my daughter a citation for not wearing a seatbelt. And I'm like, feeling bad for her, but trying to control my laughter, because I would have thought she would have been the one let off, because she doesn't drive, so there's no kind of moving violations, criminal charge, nothing against her. So I'm thinking she was going to possibly be let off of that. Anyhow, she got the citation. So, the officer says, drive safely. I'm like, yes, sir, thank you. And as I'm pulling off, the first thing that comes to my mind is, thank you, Jesus. Because honestly, that could have been a train wreck in my life. And I probably would have just let the van sit in the impound lot, because I would have never been able to catch up, on fees and everything. And it would just not been worth it to me. So my daughter in turn goes, don't thank Jesus too much. I got the ticket. So, and the thing was, I kept bugging her about it all day. I did a triple threat and one pull, being pulled over once. No insurance, not having my license, and speeding. Triple threat. And I'll tell you what, Jesus was looking down on me that day, because he could have really cost me a fortune. And so I get off that exit that I had pulled into, and so I get up on Trimble Road, and my daughter goes, aren't you going back on the freeway to go home and get your towel hanging thing? I said, no, I ain't even gonna chance it. Nope, I'm staying off the freeway. So I figured, I'll just lay my towels out, no big deal. So we get to the craft show, and they already got the roads blocked off for the car show, so I couldn't pull into the driveway to the building that had the craft show. So my daughter carries a bunch, we park in back of this hotel. My daughter gets loaded down, we load the wheelchair down, my lap down, and we got to carry this thing like a block, this stuff to a block to the craft show. So as we lay everything down, I tell her, go ahead and get everything set up. I'll go back and get the rest of the stuff. Well, it took me like 4 trips. And it was blazing hot that day, and I was starting to get a little irritated by the end, but I thought we would have had, a lot of traffic in there. A car show in this area brings a lot of people. The show was for 5 hours, 10 to 3. Table fee was $25 for the day. I made $24, but had to spend $10 because we were running late and I forgot our lunch. So I had to spend $14 on lunch for both of us. It's the least I could do. She got a ticket, right? So I lost total $15 on that day, plus merchandise. I didn't make anything back. And my daughter made $4. We would have thought this place would have been booming with traffic. I think if it would have been outside in like the parking lot, we would have had more traffic than we had sitting inside. So it wasn't a very good day all around for the craft show. But I haven't driven my car since. I'm going to wait till I can get insurance on it. I'm not taking that chance again. But yeah, so that's how the craft show went. What I just decided to do, I looked at everything I had, and I'm going to put everything on Etsy that I have so far. And because I figured it'll cost me approximately, if nothing sells, it'll cost me approximately $25 a month to have it on Etsy. But that's for a month. So I have more of a chance of selling something. I may lose a little money, you know, to begin with till people start buying. But I'm going to put everything on Etsy. I should have that all done within 2-3 days. Our community room's been shut down. So, and that's where I take my pictures because it's much better lighting. So I'm hoping in 2 to 3 days I can get everything, get a picture of everything, and get everything listed on Etsy. I'm going to be selling my crocheted balloons, 6 for $10, no handling, just shipping. So it'll be $10 plus shipping for 6 balloons. My towels are still going to be $7.50, and I have a few things. My daughter made these really cute diaper covers with a hat. One looks like Minnie Mouse, and I think she did some like camouflage. Those I'm also going to list on Etsy. What else? Yeah, there's going to be assortment of stuff, so if you want to look, there's going to be a little bit of jewelry that my daughter has that's going to be listed. So I will put out a video when I get those listed to tell you it's open. So I'm hoping 2 to 3 days. It's going to take a lot of work, but I think it's just going to be better for me just to do Etsy instead of these craft shows, because everyone that I have worked in this town, I maybe make my table money back, and that's not worth it. I'm forking out more money than I am selling anything. I'm just selling stuff to make table money back, where I could have just stayed home and given the crap away and not waste gas or anything else. So that's kind of where I'm at on that right now. I'm just a little aggravated about the craft show. The 2 big ones that they have here during the year, you have to apply to get into them. And if they don't like your stuff, you don't get in. So I have tried for 7 years, and they very rarely get new people in because people book years in advance on those 2 craft shows. So it's just very hard to get into. So I think I'm just going to work on Etsy and maybe eBay and give some of the stuff away for Christmas. I mean, I got to get it out of my house. It looks like now my brother is going to get my mom to Florida in September. And my son wants to go down now. So I told my brother, I said, you know, we're going to share the rent, get a 2-bedroom, and we could share the rent until I get housing that opens up that I can afford. And he, of course, gets a job and has money saved to get his own place. Which, him getting a job's no big deal. He works at 4-star restaurants in Columbus. So, and he's a waiter, host, you know, he does all that kind of stuff. And he makes good money. It's just starting off new. He's got to find a job. And I just don't think it's going to be that much of a big deal. So I'm hoping we can get like a short-term lease, maybe 3 to 6 months. And then that way maybe we both have our own places. But yeah, that's the plan. I don't know if it's going to happen. But I really don't want to take a lot of stuff with me. My son's going to come down in a few weeks, start helping me get some stuff packed up. And I told him, when it comes to crafts, that stuff's getting given away at the last minute because I still want to work on stuff. But material, I don't mind giving away or selling them, you know, large lots. But tools, like my crochet hooks and my drill press, you know, the tools. That's what costs. That's what costs to get you started. Material don't really cost that much. I mean, you can get that stuff on sale very readily. But my tools I want to keep. So we're just going to start packing up other stuff, what to get rid of, what to throw in the dump. He's going to help me with that because he's good at pushing me. But he don't push till I get upset. He just knows how far to push me, and then he kind of lets it go. And sometimes I find things missing that I'm looking for, but usually it's stuff that can be rebought at no big deal. But anyways, so that's the way the craft show went. Not a great story, but I love that police officer gave me a break. He gave me a huge break, and I'll ever be thankful for him for that. So I got a couple of good crafts coming up that I have to video today, and they'll be put out within the week. So you guys have a great day and enjoy. I love summer. If I could bring my sewing machine out here, I would be in heaven. But yeah, I'm gonna go get ready for that. Enjoy the weather, and if it's raining in your area, you probably need it because this seems to be a dry summer this year. So I will see you guys later, and have a great day. Bye.